Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rugby Through the Leagues podcast. This week, as you can still see, still out and about, not quite settled back down yet, still not back in Spain, so we're having to make do wherever we can. So we've made the perfect opportunity for us to get out and see some grassroots rugby. For this episode, we managed to make it out over to Millbrook. So Millbrook invited myself over when they reached out on our TikTok platform. So thankfully, they had a game against Gosport. So coincided that with a little trip down on Tuesday night to watch training, get a little pre-interview with Polly, who we had on before, right at the first episode of the pod. So he's back for this episode. We also managed to make it over to Newbury. So Newbury and Swindon played. That's going to be lined up for the next episode. But for this episode, we managed to make it over to Gosport Ones, played against Millbrook. And we bumped into the Flaming Unicorns, completely unplanned. The great interview, great cause. Obviously, hopefully going to line up a bigger episode out of that because they're doing great things, great bits for the game. Spreading the word for men's mental health as well. So can't sort of promote that any further without obviously getting it on the pod and carry on. So the call also went out. They didn't have enough players for their charity game, so this melted wheelie bin rolled himself out and managed to make the game. Played the game. Still feeling it now. We are on Wednesday, so probably a sign that I'm getting a little bit too old for the game, but love it. It was an absolute honour. Some great group of lads as well. So really looking forward to hopefully getting them lined up for a proper episode for himself later on down the line. Millbrook obviously played against Gosport. We managed to sit down with the club captain. The co-club captain as well down at Millbrook, got invited along for a league lunch. Their hospitality was absolutely phenomenal. They've done an amazing family sort of charity rugby day as well. 4 games. They managed to get a women's team set up. They managed to play their first game as well against the Flaming Unicorns, which was amazing to see. So this one's been an absolute blinder. We managed to make it out to actually see some grassroots rugby. There's going to be a few more of these episodes while we're stuck back in the UK as well. So it's going to be some really nice raw and sort of underground grassroots rugby stuff for a few episodes. So we're going to get out. We've got some others lined up as well in the coming weeks while I'm stuck back here. So it's great to see grassroots rugby out there, trying out the new fancy camera as well. So we can actually see how that works. So kind of learning I'm doing. We are releasing the competition that I mentioned in the other week. So on the start of next week, so Monday the 9th of September will be the start of the competition. So I'm going to start releasing that over this weekend. So look out for that because that's another sort of tip to grassroots rugby and getting them to change the backdrop. Obviously, once the backdrop's finally sorted and we're back into the normal piece, we've got some bits to really sort of push this pod and create some more athletics around it. I am sat in a wingback chair. I'll hopefully be able to get one of them as well for the new backdrop because I love a chair like this. So this week, some really, really good, so humble grassroots rugby. So thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy it and make sure you share and like it. Keep promoting the pod. Don't forget, Rugby Europe Super Cup starts this week as well. It will be available on rugbyttl.app. So the Spanish teams, Portuguese, the Georgian Black Lions, they're all out started playing this weekend. So unfortunately, we won't be out there to go and see some of the games like I planned, but they're going to be available. Obviously, the Red Roses play as well, so make sure you join on the old telly. Make sure you can get some tier 2 and women's games as well mixed up into your telly watching this. Cheers, everyone.
We've actually made it down to Gosport Rugby Club, and as people might recognise from our first episode, we've got Polly. Polly, thank you very much for letting me to come and gate crash a training session with a couple of interviews.
For me, I'm just more excited about watching you train later rather than actually sort of stand there and interview me.
Wow. I managed 60 minutes in the charity game the other day, so I might be able to make 10 minutes without throwing up tonight.
I wouldn't call it 60 minutes.
Well, I had a couple of beers brought out to me during the game, so I survived, didn't I?
That's all right then, isn't it?
And then the night after, we got a little bit tasty, didn't it?
Yeah. But that's part of rugby, isn't it?
That's
the
it.
whole thing, isn't it? Oh, it's not just the game on the Saturday. It's the
Social afterwards, yeah.
And that's the socials. Yeah,
we pretty hit that hard though, didn't we? Yeah, good.
It was good.
You guys have obviously got a pre-season game at the weekend at Millbrook.
Yeah.
We're going to pop along, do a little bit of a recording, and I've reached out to Millbrook as well because they reached out to the pod before, so they want to jump on and talk about what they're doing. So you guys got the game against their ones, correct?
Yeah, our first team are scheduled to play against their first team this weekend. We were hopefully trying to get ones and twos, but they've got a whole charity event on, which is absolutely fantastic. Wow. I think they've got 4 games. I think their ones, their twos. I think their women's are playing a game as well. So hopefully it should be really busy down there, which is kind of what you want to see. You know, where everyone talks about their own clubs, but sometimes it's about supporting the other local clubs as well.
Yeah, because you said their twos are playing a charity game against Flying
Unicorn.
Yeah, that was when you sent me that name the other day. I thought that's a strong name.
I don't know a lot about them, but I know a few of the lads down here are massive fans of their.
Oh, okay.
And they love their.
Oh, good.
You know, one of the lads is itching to get get his hands on a bit of kit.
So we might have to see if we can get them. We love a stash.
Yeah.
How's pre-season gone?
It's been okay. I think we've consolidated where we were at the sort of the end of last season.
Yeah.
We came back a bit early. We've got a different approach this year.
Yeah.
Seniors are training with the Colts, coinciding hand in hand.
How's that working out?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's allowing them to develop, but it's also allowing us, the senior lads, to sort of see a little bit more pacier players, a little bit slendier. So different style of a game, a different approach to it as well. So
to adapt the tackle stuff.
So no contact. Obviously, there's no physical contact between seniors and Colts, because of the RFU regulations, which is perfectly understandable. So any tackle situations, any tackling drills, we split the Colts off and they stay together in a group.
Yeah.
And then we put the seniors in together as well. So you've got to be really careful with safeguarding as well. So at this earlier stage in the season, with the ground still reasonably hard, you don't want to get into that. But hopefully it will allow them to progress into senior rugby as we move through the season.
Yeah. So when can they adapt in? Is it 16 with a permission slip, or is it 17?
So the RFU regulation states 17 when they turn 17, with approval from the club, from their parents, and from the union. So that's or our governing body, which would be Hampshire.
Yeah.
As long as all of the things are in place, all safeguarding's in place, then they can start playing up and start playing some senior rugby. Stand fast front row players.
Yeah.
You have to be 18 to be able to play in the front row.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Gone are the days from when I was 16 years old. We're short of lads this weekend, Polly. Do you fancy running around for the fours? Yeah. Okay. Right, and we are good at looking after our players, and that's the whole point. And the RFU are driving that as well.
Yeah, it's positive. Many lads out there that you reckon might get a run out this season? Anyone that sort of put himself in the shot window from training
from the Colt?
Yeah.
They've got some really good players. Last year, I think they had 5 represented in the Hampshire under-17 side.
Oh, wow. That's good.
That did really, really well. Been keeping an eye on them. Hopefully, unfortunately, they'll turn 18 sort of end of March, so and quite late on in the year. But there's some other guys that are stepping up this season who've just turned 18, who've turned seniors from Colts last year. So, that's really good. So we've got a few of them sort of stepping into the fold, and hopefully get them amongst it and get them involved in some senior rugby.
How's numbers been? Good?
It's been steady, nothing to sort of write home and sort of like go, let's have a third team. It's enough to keep us sustained, and hopefully when the start of the season comes, for ones and twos, a few more people come out of the woodwork. Nobody really likes pre-season training, do they? So they just like turning up for the games, which is also understandable as well. So hopefully we'll keep pushing on and see what happens.
Obviously you had a pre-season game against Newbury the other week.
Yeah.
Newbury had 4 sides put out, correct? So they had a well drilled. I've been sort of sharing a lot of their stuff on the socials, on the pod, and possibly going to pop up there Friday to see what theirs is about as well, because they've reached out and supported the pod pretty well. But they seem to have a little fairly tidy outfit up there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was on holiday, so I didn't get to see it.
So blame on Kieran.
We're not blaming anyone on anything. I think we wanted an early game, and we wanted an early opportunity for our players to get some match time. Last year, we didn't have enough game time before the season started, and I felt like the first 2 games of the season we were a bit rusty. And we got that early game, but we had a lot of unavailabilities. I think we only ended up taking sort of 20 players, so 35. And, I think we had a lot of front rows, and they had no front rows. So
uncontested scrums,
it was completely uncontested scrums from the word go. So,
not ideal.
And it changes the game,
100%.
In terms of
you can't build a platform off something.
No,
you can't put a dominance on, can you?
Yeah, and if you become dominant up front at scrum time, which we've worked really hard in the scrums. Our front row's pretty settled, and been playing together a long time. So. If you can take those in every scrum, you've got a shot 50, even your own scrums, you guarantee you got ball, and opposition ball, you got 50% chance, and you can put them on the back foot. But they've got some great players. They've got a load of sevens players playing in their backs, and it was clearly evident. But you know what? Look, we scratch it on.
A few leagues above as well, haven't they? So
just a league above us now, and I think they've just had a pause, maybe not a fully represented season for them last year, but they did win the Regional 2 South Powerging, or whatever it was, the old the Papa John's Cup. That's what it is.
Papa John's now,
other pizza brands are available. But I think it's, every club's got to try and get to that point where you can either rebuild, refocus and reset. So, hopefully we'll be good to get amongst some training tonight.
Yeah, mate, can't wait.
Just in case you weren't sure, if you haven't got any mozzie spray, it's rife. So.
That's all right, mate. I don't get eaten by Spanish mozzie, so I'll hopefully be all right down here.
I'm standing still. It's just ridiculous. So. But there you go.
But Christy, top man. Cheers, mate. Right, so we've got Stu from the Flaming Unicorns.
We have.
Thank you so much for jumping on and having a little chat. Can you go through what the Flaming Unicorns is about, and for those that don't know, and obviously the non-PC chat of how it come about? I think that's with that sort of pod we can go real.
So it came around off the back of the charity. So Tough Enough to Care was set up 5.5 years ago, supporting mental health in male-dominated spaces. Yeah. We had a couple of 2 years on the bounce. We had some charity matches, just a way of raising awareness and getting people. I've played rugby all my life. Yeah. Spent a few years of my life down this neck of the woods as well. So it was just my way of what can I do to have a bit of fun, tell the missus I'm at work, and still get some people talking in rugby clubs, because it's hard to get talk about mental health and suicide, especially in a rugby club. So on the back of that, all the lads were saying we need more of this. I'm fringe third team player. I want to play socially. What can we do? So we decided to set up a rugby club. Yeah. And we'd looked at different names and what to do and where do we go with it? Because Tough Enough to Care, it's great, but still a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not quite the Flaming Unicorns.
So I won't name the club, but I wanted to get FU on the scoreboard. Yeah. So floating umbrellas, flapping ukuleles didn't really work. And then we came up with Flaming Unicorns, and the other side of it is a flaming unicorn's like a mythical creature, just like a man talking about mental health and suicide is. And there we were. The shirts got made. Should have had one on. We'll
see him.
Yeah. And it started off, like I say, it's a bit of a joke. My level of pettiness with trying to get FU on the scoreboard, and it's just gone gangbusters. Yeah. Absolutely crazy how it's grown. We've got nearly 200 members nationally.
That's brilliant.
Probably a nucleus of 100 Midlands players from multitude of clubs. Yeah, and we just rock up, turn up at a rugby club. Yeah. Play a charity match. Everyone pays a £5 to play. It raises a bit of money. We sell some gangster unicorns.
Got some proper stash,
And most importantly, it gets the conversation around mental health in a rugby club, where if we just phoned or cold called the rugby club and said, "Can we come and talk about mental health?" If you didn't have the phone put down, it'd be,
we'll call you. Yeah, we'll call you back.
We'll pass it to the committee.
Because it started in quite traumatic circumstances, didn't it? And obviously a big wake-up call, as you said. You come from that sort of environment of feelings didn't really encounter, and you had two in the space of 4 days, didn't you say?
Yeah, so my background's rugby, military, left the military, went into industrial engineering, so it's all these toxic masculine environments where mental health's a weakness, suicide, selfish, and all those horrible negative terms and phrases. I lost a friend and went straight to the comfort blanket of he's weak, he's selfish. 4 days later, lost another friend to suicide and went straight back to that place of weak, selfish, and stopped myself and just thought, hang on.
Yeah,
these were the strongest people I knew. They'd do anything for anyone, so they were nowhere near selfish.
No.
How can we change it? There's an issue here, and as an engineer, put my engineer's hat on.
Yeah.
How can I fix the problem?
Yeah.
And I realised that the problem was me and people like me. In rugby clubs where you're willing to put your body on the line for 80 minutes, but you're not willing to put your arm around your mate, and that's how he is.
But even after a few points, it usually just becomes banter and people don't feel comfortable. But
the only emotion in a rugby club is happiness, and if you haven't got happiness, you go back to the bar until you've got happiness.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so, as you said, previous events, you've managed to sort of break those barriers down. A few people have pulled you to one side and stuff like that. So that's a massive positive. And I think a lot of people attach themselves to the unicorns. So we've got, is it Alex?
Alex, yeah.
Alex, if you want to come on in, mate, because Alex actually found the unicorns on Facebook, wasn't it? So if you want to slot in there, you come in. So Alex, come on. As you can see, you jump on. So Alex obviously has got some of the amazing stash on board as well. As you can see, it's pretty out there. So how did you come about it? The unicorns, you saw it on Facebook, is that correct?
Yeah, it was a whole charity. I'd been very ill for many years to the point where I did attempt to take my own life.
Yeah.
Saw one of Stu's original posts, and after trying everything I could before that and it didn't work, reached out to Stu because it was simple, it was down to earth, it wasn't a heavy clinical approach, it was like, we need to speak, and that was what I needed. And then,
brilliant.
So after a couple of decades of being quite ill with mental health issues, finding a group of people that were able to support me and talk to me, and I felt comfortable speaking to.
Because it's now become both of your full-time roles, isn't it? So that's amazing. Of obviously being able to put your flag in the ground and be able to push that forward to support other people. Because Alex, you now you took on the Derbyshire region and stuff like that. You're Dudley way, ain't you? So you both cover across the Midlands, is it? Or
we cover across the country. I mean, lately I've been working in Norwich. We've been in Wales. Stu's been to Glasgow.
Yeah.
Around Manchester, and obviously down here
get everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We've done some work for some brand companies down in Southampton as well.
Oh, okay.
Literally
brilliant.
everywhere.
Nah, that's awesome. You've already mentioned that you might need some players today as well. So I've conveniently left my boots in the van, so might have to get a run out. So lads, we'll catch up after the game and stuff, but we'll share everything on your socials and we'll push this out, mash this together. I know there's a few Gosport lads that are keen to get some stash. And you said that obviously it's a bit of a call for arms as well, potentially for players across the country. Obviously you've got, do you want to let everyone know where you are and stuff like that? And
so I don't know, looking at the camera, so I'll still just look at you. So we're tough enough to care across all social media for the charity if people need to reach out for support.
Yeah.
And again, on Instagram and Facebook, we've got Flaming Unicorns, Flaming Unicorns. And just drop us a message.
Yeah.
Players will get added to either the men's chat or the ladies' chat for the teams. And all we do is just, there's no selection process. There's no training. We don't even warm up. And we select the games. Clubs tend to come to us. Yeah. We used to reach out, but clubs actually come to us and ask for us to come now. And we'll just, like we've done for Millbrook, we've just put a poster on and said who's available.
Quality.
And everyone's welcome.
Because you said you had... you said you got potentially 9 games lined up till Christmas. Was that roughly, or 9 clubs had reached out to you?
Yeah, 9 clubs reached out to us. We've got a handful of games before Christmas, and it's difficult because a lot of the guys do play club rugby as well. So the last thing we want to do is start causing trouble for grassroots clubs because we support them. So we put it out there, and we've never not fielded or held a game, like you say. Today, it's been a bit of a struggle with one thing and another, but we always turn up and say there's not been one event that we've turned to where we haven't had a chance to speak to somebody and someone's took us to one side. And that's what it's about. It's just giving people the opportunity to feel comfortable with a couple of idiots.
And today, like you say, we've not been to a rugby club yet where at least two people haven't properly bought into it and needed a talk, because just like Alex said, they didn't know where to go. They didn't know how to open that conversation. So it's all worth it.
No, I really appreciate everything.
No, thank you for your time.
Doing, and we'll obviously help keep growing it on the socials and push it out, and hopefully even potentially line up as a whole separate pod in the do a whole episode and see if we can get anyone that's obviously you guys have had on and helped you and that you've helped. So yeah, we carry on there.
And a tour to Spain as well.
100%. We're all up for a tour to Spain. Cheers, gents. Thank you. So we're down here at Millbrook. This interview's been delayed a little bit because I ended up getting roped into playing for the Flaming Unicorns, and Geordie's just been everywhere. A bit busy trying to sort out referees and stuff.
What, literally in 4 teams?
Yeah.
Two of us. It's been painful.
Big session today. You've got, what, 4 games going on?
4 senior teams.
Yeah, 3 men's teams, 1 ladies team, over 2 pitches over the course of the day,
Brilliant. And then obviously barbecue set up. Is there camping here tonight as well?
Yeah, we got about 30 camping, so pretty much the whole Hazelmere is camping, the charity teams are camping, we're camping. So
how did this day come about? Was it all from the Flaming Unicorns reaching out to you, or?
Well, we were sort of busy trying to organise pre-season friendlies.
Yeah.
And then Luke Montague, one of our coaches, come up to us. He knows a lot of the guys from the Unicorns. So they come to us for a fixture. Only wanting to play 2s or vets, so we thought perfect, get them involved. That's a 2 pre-season. Contacted Gosport. They obviously come down and give us a game. Luckily for us, pre-season's gone really well.
We've had a lot of new players, so we thought, do you know what? I think we're gonna manage.
So obviously, a lot of new players have come in because you do a £25 a season sign up sort of thing. Is that correct? Is that
we've done quite well with our sponsors. And what we've decided to do is, rather than concentrate the money on like the first team, we've made the membership very cheap, £25 for the year.
Brilliant.
And you still get your petrol money if you're travelling, you drive to away games. You get some free kit with it. And that way every player benefits, whether you're male, female, playing first, second or third, everybody benefits from it.
Yeah, brilliant.
And the word seems to have got out, and people have bought into it.
Yeah, it's quality.
So I took over as club captain 2 years ago. He's joined me this year just because of the growth of the club, essentially.
How long you been in with the club, both of you?
Me?
Yeah.
I walked, I can't remember my dad's. My dad's been here years, and I was up at 2.
Quite
literally.
It's usually the way, innit?
I played my first season in 1984, so this is my 40th season.
Wow.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
We've done that. So I took over club captaincy really in the middle of like the
COVID period.
When the cost of living went up. And we had literally 10 players in our second team. Still trying to charge £35 a month, £32 a month for membership at the time. You just were not getting the membership buy-in. But for us, we're on one of the biggest council estates in England. There's people that want access to sport and can't afford it.
Correct.
So why should sport cost you? At the end of the day, it's your mental health, your physical health, it's a team environment. It's what sport, and more important, it's what rugby brings to it for me.
100%.
We can do that. So it's like we went out, built a consortium of sponsorships. It's all our sponsors.
Do you want to call out the sponsors to obviously for the pod?
We've got 7 Structures, AMF. We've got 7 Marine. We've got safe access scaffolding on the first team shirts. We've got Wood House Environments. We've got if I forgot you, I'm sorry, but we've got loads. Well, essentially, to put 2 sentences, we don't own anything here. We rent everything.
A lot of clubs do. There's not many in that.
So a lot of clubs know 2 pitches. We got to pay £35 to train on the pitch. Then we got to pay to put the lights on. Got to pay the referees and pay all the rest of it. So we got about £8,000 to £9,000, I think it was, between sponsors. That covered all playing costs.
Brilliant.
So then what we do is, don't charge people for membership. Get them in, get them enjoying rugby. Like Tuesday nights, we put food on. Thursday night, so Tuesday nights, we feed everyone. Nothing. That's part of, that's what we do. So you get massive numbers at Tuesday. So then why wouldn't you?
I was really impressed by your league lunch. It's probably one of the best lunches I've seen.
Again, that's done by like Jazzy's, my wife and all the rest of it, who's now out playing for our new ladies team.
Yeah, it's quality.
It's just the membership is unreal.
Yeah.
And the club buying us.
Youth system? You got much of a youth system at the minute? Or
We've got no youth.
Right.
We've got no youth. So
straight.
our first team, the average age of our first team is about 22, 23.
Yeah.
They're the last Colts that come through the club. We've had no youth since then.
Oh, okay.
So that's sort of...
Why do you think was that?
We struggled with volunteers.
Right. Coaches, availability.
We've got a mile that way, Trojans.
Yeah.
2.5 miles that way, EC.
Yeah.
You know, well, another half a mile that way, you've got Tots.
Yeah.
Like, they're massive, they're set up. So,
Yeah.
and again, when we come in as club captains, it's like, this club's got to be here in 10 years' time. It's got to be here. So we're not going to do it for a youth section. So how do we get adults here?
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing, you know, the growth of the club and the community. We are a council estate community rugby club.
Brilliant.
And we couldn't be proud of it. For me, I couldn't be proud of it.
So what league are you guys in this season? Your ones and
Ones
twos?
are in counties 2.
Yeah.
Twos are in counties 4. We're looking to put a third team out. Obviously, once a month, we're going to try run our 3. Today, we had enough players to put 4 teams out.
Yeah.
But we made sure every team had something.
Yeah.
So we've got currently 46 signed memberships for our women's section.
Brilliant.
So we're being told by their coaches that come Christmas, we're potentially going to have 2 female teams.
That's brilliant.
Which is, it's unreal, mate.
Yeah, I haven't. I think they had 54 turned up for their women's training the other day. Like, so about 46 signed up already. Yeah. For,
Well,
as you said.
I went to a meeting, I know, a volunteers night last year, I think it was, with the highest, Millbrook's the highest club playing rugby with no youth section in the Southern Counties.
That's crazy.
And it's just like, we're so proud of it.
There's a lot of clubs around here. So the thinking is we've got to do something different.
Yeah.
And if we treat everybody the same, everybody gets equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Everybody pays the same money.
Yeah.
I think that was what it seemed. It's working for us at the moment.
Yeah. That's it.
What we pride ourselves on as a club, and we have for decades, it's not our generation, it's the generation. Not many people walk through that clubhouse door and walk out of it again.
Yeah.
It is the environment that we bring. It's 100%. Now, why would you pay a first team player 150 quid and have some bloke in the thirds paying 25 quid a week for his membership?
Yeah.
You're not going to build a club like that. You could build a club like that, but it ain't sustainable.
No.
And it's not going to be. It's not what we're. Let's be honest. We understand the league we're in. We understand who we are. We're proud of who we are, but we work to who we are.
Yeah. So the club's in a good financial position, got a good long-term plan.
Yeah, I must say, Jackie and Chris Ings, they took over the club when it's in about 40, 50 grand worth of debt.
Christ.
And we're now very sustainable.
Yeah.
We're here for generations now.
Is the long-term plan to then start tapping into a youth system and try and steal them off the areas and stuff? And
100% is. It's not steal them off the areas as such. It's
bring them local. So they must be going somewhere.
We've got a school right there.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to put a coach in there.
Yeah.
And get them using these facilities.
Yeah.
It's not for the lack of trying.
And then building from there. You know, there's a couple of local schools that none of the kids play.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much most of England. It's not really pushed in school.
Well, schools
aren't. They're very risk averse. Rugby is a big danger for them. All they hear is that the kid's going to end up in a wheelchair every 5 minutes. And
we've got we've got a head PE teacher over there.
Yeah.
Head PE teacher playing our ones.
Yeah.
Try tapping that. School won't let it. So it's like we just got to do what we got to do. What we're doing.
Yeah.
But tell you what's good is at the minute as well, and I don't care if you've played rugby before.
Yeah.
So many people come up for our thirds and our twos. Their mates come up.
Yeah.
After about the 4th or 5th week, on a Tuesday night they were training. Yeah. So we did. I thought give it a go. Yeah. And then it's like, if it's 25 quid for the year, they're not invested in.
And so that threes team we put out today, there was 3 players there who started playing rugby in the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, quality.
And what we do as well for other people, like we give them 3 or 4 free games.
Yeah.
So you can train, and we give you 3, 4 games, see if you like it or not. If we're going to go. Whereas we don't jump straight on them saying, where's your membership?
It's easy to do. If you've got a threes system set up and you can get threes games, you don't have to do everything legit, do you? You can get people out, let them have a game, make sure that they actually enjoy what they do, not going to get hurt. Because the first hit they receive, they either love it or they hate it. Yeah. And
they might go wanting a little bit, but it's for us as well, especially afterwards. We don't care where you play rugby, we don't care how you play rugby. Just play rugby.
And one of our jobs that we talk about with all the officials at our club.
Yeah.
If somebody walks through the door and you don't recognise them, you introduce yourself. Offer to get them a beer.
Yeah, brilliant.
We've had some such positive feedback. We had a girl joined us. She'd been to another club a bit down the coast.
Yeah.
And nobody spoke to her during training. Nobody spoke to her in the bar afterwards. She met somebody downtown who told her about it. She came up here. She trained. She walked through the door. I went over and spoke to her. Said, "Hello, don't recognise you. I'm a joint club captain up here." Bought her a drink. She was training the next week. Unfortunately, then her job moved her immediately. But she sent us a lovely note.
Yeah.
How welcome she'd felt. How sorry she is that she's got to go.
Yeah.
And it you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
If you get that kind of feedback.
Yeah, I understand.
No, as I said, like obviously Luke reached out to me on TikTok originally, obviously put me in touch with you guys. Hospitality today has been phenomenal. Can't appreciate that enough because, as you say, a lot of clubs, their league lunch is precious. It's the Hooray Henrys are down. But
you know what? I played out in Oz for a couple of years, and where I met my partner, who's now obviously co-captain the ones.
Yeah.
For the female side, and it's just like when we come in as club captain, it's like we are a council estate team.
Yeah.
We know we are, but why can't we be a legit rugby club? Why can't we hold ourselves to higher standards? Why can't we? That's what we've really pushed.
Some of the best players who've ever played in this club over the years that I've played are born over there.
Yeah.
You know,
and we run 3 or 4 pre-match lunches a year now, and they're packed out. We don't do them every week, but we just do target 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Get the clubhouse packed, get them out here. Get them watching the games, get them back up there, get an environment going.
Let the opposition know early.
Yeah, exactly that. But equally, any team that comes, fortunate for us, we give them a whole table for free on us.
Yeah,
just come up, enjoy, just sit down. We're building what I've liked over the last 2, because we are Millbrook Rugby Club.
Yeah.
We have had a bad reputation in the past. The amount of teams that turn up here now and go...
Everyone's up for a scrap, though. The Millbrook was always a place you come, but it made it that place. Yeah. That's what it's for, and like a lot of clubs still play on that now. But off the pitch is rugby's rugby.
Yeah.
Off the pitch, you guys can do whatever you want on the pitch in that sense.
Yeah.
Make your mark, but off the pitch, you've got to make sure you hold everything.
We've got like a bit of a club saying it's white line and white line.
Yeah.
So when you go over that white line, you become an animal that's going to win a game of rugby, and that's what we're here to. And then essentially, we're here to win games of rugby.
100%. Everyone is.
As soon as you come off that white line, you become a club member again.
After the first 10 minutes for the Flaming Unicorns, I thought, I don't know what I signed up to here. And then your twos just disappeared. So I was it's quite...
Yeah. We'll make the poor load of twos off the bench. But it's what it is, isn't it?
It was a great game. Great game. What's your target this year? What's the plan? See where you're going to finish.
We talk about our sort of minimum acceptable and what our stretch is.
Yeah.
Stretch is we'd love to see our first team promoted.
Yeah.
We'd love to see our second.
Who've you got in your league around you? What's your...
Petersfield twos.
Right.
Winch twos, I believe. To be honest, with where the league's restructured this year and they set 4 up, they're going to disappear.
Yeah.
To be honest, they didn't do enough to get out of the league last time.
Came up
So, Petersfield twos have come up 3 or 4 leagues.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. They're doing well as a club, and therefore their twos,
if we can
should come up
and get 8 or 10 games out for third team.
Yeah.
I would say that was a massive success.
Well,
And
the women's, I was going to say, where's the women's going to go? What's the target?
It's good.
I just see that.
5-12 up in their first ever games.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So the women's is sort of a fairly new...
Yeah, so we put an interest in rugby. So obviously my partner plays rugby. That's how we met. I met her playing rugby in Australia.
Yeah.
She's come back and she does all the pre-match lunches.
Yeah.
She does so much. She does the bar on Saturdays and Sundays. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Just went, why can't I play a Millbrook shirt?
Yeah, why can't I play?
Why can't I play? Yeah, because she had to play at other clubs. So we put an interest of, was it interest to play rugby, a registration of interest?
Yeah.
Rugby club. We got about 20 people email straight away.
Really?
So we sort of started doing a few training sessions, a few beginners. We had 8 or 9 turn up, and then a couple of weeks down the line, obviously a whole sort of section from another club made contact, and we just said, listen, no offence, you're another team. We're not. You do what you've got to do where you are, and then if you decide to come, we're going to carry on doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
We decided to come, and they did. So we've now got, what was it? 12 of them come over for the initial training sessions.
A few more than that.
As the weeks went on, a few more come over, but the initial training sessions was like 12 and all the rest, and it's just built and built. But what is good, we've got Duncan Parker, who is He's a phenomenal lady.
Yeah.
Took Trojans up through the leagues. He's been a Hampshire league coach for years.
Did he approach you, or did you manage? Was he already part of the club, or did you manage?
To be fair, not gonna lie,
Some of the ladies brought.
They brought him.
They brought him with them.
Yeah, fair play.
He just sort of signed on to do it.
Yeah.
And then they brought him with them when they came.
Yeah, fair play.
yeah, and it's going like we were chatting the other night, me and him, when the ladies kit turned up, and I put it up and sent him a picture, and he was like, "Do you know how good it is to be a proper rugby club?
A club that's got a kit."
And it's well, but it's not just but it's just like what,
Not second hand.
Knock me down one. Yeah.
but it's just what we are. Again, if they pay their £25,
Yeah.
we're not calling them men's and women's.
No,
we're calling them
they're
senior
Millbrook.
players.
Yeah,
they're
Millbrook,
one of us, and it's as simple as that.
They got the physio. They get the same access to the physio.
Yeah, we're paying. So if you go to the away game from Millbrook Rugby Club, we do it a mileage system. We pay the petrol.
Well, everyone, every.
It doesn't matter what team we pay out.
Take a car and you've
Three people
in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so carpool and you.
If you carpool, again, it shouldn't cost you to go to the other side of the county to have a game of rugby.
No.
It always ends up being the same people driving.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. So obviously, what league are they going to be in? Have they got many games lined up?
Yeah, because they're the first year in the league. Well, being a system, they're going in the Warrior League this year.
Yeah.
But we sort of spoke to the RFQ and all the rest, and they said if the fixtures and the results
work out
are so way, they're at least if they don't. Us and the coaches, we just go up for it.
Form,
and we might go and we stay there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Don't care. As long as they're playing rugby and enjoying it.
Playing regular rugby.
Yeah,
that's it.
So we've got our first 8 or 9 friendlies lined up.
Brilliant. So obviously, if you manage to get 2 teams out, does that automatically bump your ones, or have you got to make more fixtures for your 2s on top separately?
Do you know what, mate? We
don't know yet.
Well, we're doing that at 8 when it comes.
Yeah.
We've already got what we're good at the minute is. As we've grown, we've already got preset people ready to jump in when it needs to happen. So we've already got communicators, volunteers ready.
Yeah.
If the 2 teams kicks off, the fixtures will be found, the kits will be ordered.
Yeah, brilliant.
And we'll deal with it when it comes.
No, it's good. And obviously, the club being in a good financial position helps with that as well. Being organised, making sure you know what you got coming in, where it goes out, that helps massively.
So we do like a member card system. So with your £25, you get a membership card.
Yeah.
So we give you a 15% or 20%, I can't remember, it's uplift. Just like the most expensive pint in there to a member is £3, 5p.
Yeah, it's quality.
So what do? You get people buy a beer.
Yeah.
And you end up with 22 quid on it.
Yeah.
That means then if you're having functions, you don't have to keep changing the prices on the.
Yeah.
So the members benefit.
Just tap and go sort of thing.
Yeah. Just another membership.
Exactly that. But then, so now, another thing we've actually done is we've opted to have bar staff working.
That's not nearly another try.
Every Saturday, every Sunday. So, what we did notice, if you're a social member, actually the club's only open on a Saturday, but you're paying the same member now as a playing member.
Yeah.
So there's no social benefits. So what have we done now? We've opened the club every Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
This Sunday there's over 50-something people in there.
Good.
On a Sunday. Sunday afternoon, there's 50 people Saturday.
Chuck the games on and stuff like that.
We pay for all the Sky Sports, we pay for everything.
It's made it worthwhile. We actually open after training on a Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, really? Oh, you said you do food as well. Yeah, that's quality.
We're getting money over the bar and those as well.
Which
people know it's open. So even if it's local social members, they know they can know and get.
Well, see it totted down. Watch the training. Beers.
And again, the other thing is
across the road, as you said.
Big TV. The football goes on or the rugby goes on,
and the local pubs, they're £5.50 a pint.
Yeah.
So with the amount of people we're pulling in, actually they used to wander over, watch it, and walk off. So we started chatting to them, going, "I love watching the rugby. We're going to go and have a few cans now." So,
there's a bar
why don't you come up here?
Yeah.
And it's like, now we've actually got a following. And it is bizarre. We've got a following off the estate.
Yeah.
They're going home and away with our first team.
Brilliant.
And it's just like, there's a little group, 10, 15 of them. Never knew them again 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They turn up in all Millbrook kit, going their way, cheering the boy. They know all the lads by name. Everyone says hello to them every week. And it's just for having a social membership.
No, that's quality. And that's what rugby's about. You gain a family that you don't always want, but they're always there, aren't they?
Our Facebook thing is, we are Millbrook, we are a family.
Yeah.
Because it is, when you come in, we look after each other. We take a few special memberships on with that, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, does it got a default?
Some special people around, but hey, they pay their membership, we take their money. Same. Oh, we just scored again.
So, lads, it's been a pleasure to talk. Obviously, thank you so much for your hospitality. obviously we'll get this edited up, share everything on the pod. Is there anything you want to call out to people? Get yourselves down to Millbrook, and if you're local, come and watch them.
Well, firstly, thanks to the sponsors that allow this for us. Because at the end of the day, we've got big ideas. We don't have the funding. We can't run any of it.
Yep.
So thank you to the sponsors first of all. If I forgot anyone earlier on, thank you.
I was going to say the list sounds pretty long.
Oh, mate, it is extensive, but again, they invest in us because they know we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
But then, secondly, if you're local to Millbrook, you live in the SO post, just come along.
Yeah.
Just come along. You walk through that club door, I guarantee you won't walk out of it. If you're a beginner, you've never played before, we will train you.
Yeah.
If you're decent, you play a good level, we will train you, and we'll get you in the ones or the twos, and we'll just go from there. So anyone who walks out the door will be treated the same.
Yeah, that's quality. Geordie, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for coming down today, mate.
Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed the lunch.
No, spot on. The prop can't ever turn down a bit of lunch. Obviously, not managed to get the pre-match or half-time because I ended up getting dragged across to play a charity game.
And you also managed to have a beer.
Yeah, for lunch, and then one after.
And then one before, one during, and then one after the game. Okay.
Standards.
Yeah.
Charity game. I wasn't expecting to play.
How did you get on? How was your charity game then?
I did all right, mate.
And what position did you play?
I played 8.
You played 8, okay. How many tries did you get?
1.
It worked. I thought it was pretty good. It was nice to see you dusting off the boot.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, the one thing I will say as a coach, 2 hands on the ball card. This one hand carrying malarkey doesn't it? Yeah. Which part?
Well, not that part, unfortunately.
I wasn't getting it. There you go.
How did it go today?
Yeah, really good. I think it was a great opportunity for us to sort of expose ourselves to a bit of team play and sort of see how we can get that structure. I think we're a bit rusty in the sort of first 10, 15 minutes, people trying to work out what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
We've got new centre partnerships. We've got different players playing a little bit out of position. But, that's kind of what we have to do.
Yeah.
And today was a great opportunity. Thanks for Millbrook for putting on a friendly and actually a great day. Hopefully,
really good.
Up and have a drink before we have to head back. So those are the sorts of things we want to see, and that's the other thing. But we exposed some young players. I got an opportunity. To get some young players in there. So a new Colt who stepped up from last season, played on the wings for a try. That was absolutely great.
What was the score in the end?
Not sure. I think it was 7 tries. 7 tries to 1. But reality is, it's that the score is immaterial.
I think, as I said to you, a lot of the ones that played were actually 2s and 3s that had sort of already played a game beforehand for Millbrook. So they've obviously managed to get 4 games on, but obviously I think there are a lot of players that are mixing in between as well. And that obviously gave you guys a good opportunity to run through your drills and get some tries under the belt. I think everything looked ready pretty much there for the start of the season.
Yeah, I think, there's a couple of things. We've got 2 training sessions before we play at home against Pompey on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's opening game of the season is always a tough one anyway.
Yeah.
It gets my heart pumping as well. And then we get Pompey as well. It makes it even
better.
It's a weird condition and a weird situation to be in. It's like, I really want to sort of go in and enjoy it, but for 10 minutes, my heart feels, and I think I do more work than they do out on the pitch. So definitely my heart beats more often than theirs. But we learned a lot today from our players, and I think the players learned a lot about each other. So
do you think you've pretty much got your first team picked in your head?
No, I genuinely believe. I think it's going to be a tough decisions this week. There's a few people who've been away, that haven't been around for the last few weeks because they've been on holiday or they've been, on leave. Our servicemen are back next week, and we'll sort of see what happens at training on Tuesday and Thursday, and sort of let the players sort of
pick themselves
fight for them. You've got to make those opportunities. You've got to take when you get the opportunity, you've got to take it. So,
do you reckon the plan is to try and stretch Portsmouth next week because they do love it up front at times? Do you think? With the Colts coming up, they've got a bit of pace in the back, so the back line sort of worked pretty well today.
I think, when we played Pompey 3 times last season, and we were unsuccessful twice, which is frustrating for us. But I know we're playing against a well-drilled, organised team, so we'll sort of see what happens. You know, Matt's done a good job over there, and Chris Jones is over there, and you know they've got some boys coming back. So you know, next week's going to be tough, no matter what. But it's Gosport Park, so anything can happen.
Never know what the weather's going to be either.
Yeah, well, looking at it, we need a little bit of rain this week. Hopefully, soften up that pitch. I think the boys have been asking for it.
Yeah.
But you know, we don't know what it's going to be like. So,
Two's playing at home or away?
No, Two's league season doesn't start for the following until the 2 weeks after.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can get a pre-season friendly game the following Saturday. To get them running around. But hopefully we can get all of those boys down at the club on Saturday.
Definitely.
Get some money spent over the bar. Hopefully the new bar will be open.
Nice. Okay. Downstairs?
The downstairs bar. Hopefully we can get that pitch side bar open, get it used, get some beers drunk. And then don't forget that the senior players got a disco in the club on Saturday night. So
lovely.
Most people welcome. Let's have a few drinks and then roll on Sunday morning.
So positive start for the season, hopefully, mate. And
it's always positive. You always, no matter what happens, you've always got to look for the positives. I think if in this day and age, if you just constantly shout at people and remind them that there's some negatives, that they forget that actually they did a load of good stuff.
I think you lost a couple of players have disappeared off to Havant without telling you. Is that sort of where the party line is?
Well, no, I think people can choose to play their rugby wherever they want. It doesn't affect me.
No. You've got the right players to slot back in anyway, haven't you, as well?
You know, and everyone, each to their own, and people want to play the rugby at the highest level they can possibly play. So, you know, if they get the opportunity to go and do that and then stretch themselves and play some level 4 rugby, then fair enough. You know, we're building a team and a bit of cohesiveness, and hopefully that team bonding, that cohesiveness drives us forward and gets us an opportunity to sort of, you know, battle for some big wins this week or this season.
This season, brilliant.
Cool.
All right, I'll see you Tuesday.
Cheers, mate. See you Tuesday.
Right, that brings another episode to an end. I really want to take a second just to say thank you to everyone that keeps joining, sharing, watching the episodes. It's I really appreciate everything that everyone's trying to do. We've got big plans for the pod. We've got big guests lined up. I know I keep saying it, but we have got some big plans come up, and we've got guests lined up. We're investing in the pod as well, so we really want to keep this moving forward, and hopefully being able to get out into the grassroots rugby as well for the next couple of episodes. Will allow you lot to see what makes it tick, what's a game day. For those that haven't seen the games as well, which would be a positive, open the door and see what you can get. Because this week, obviously, we made it over to Gosport, then over to Millbrook, managed to bump into the Flaming Unicorns. I managed to run around in a kit wearing a gangster unicorn on it, which I didn't realise was part of my life goals, but I've now ticked that off the list. So 100% worthwhile. And that's the amazing factor of rugby. You're able to go and meet and bump into people that you wouldn't always meet in other streams of life, and you become part of the family. I'm part of that WhatsApp group, Flaming Unicorns, already, and it's an amazing place to be. So next week we've managed to make it up to Newbury for their last pre-season game against Swindon. So that was obviously done on the Friday in between this, but I didn't want to make this too long. But we managed to make a whole episode around Newbury and Swindon, Newbury's accommodation and what they're trying to do for promoting the game on social media as well. It was amazing. Reached out. They were more than accommodated. We managed to get pre-match, half-time, post-match interviews with everyone. It was a really big movement. They've invited me up as well for a league lunch on the 14th for their home game, which possibly, if I'm still around, I'm looking at making up there as well. So it'd be really good to see how they got on the start of the season. So we got some really humble and down-to-earth, proper grassroots rugby episodes coming up for the next few. And then we get back to a bit more of the interview style in the coming weeks as well. So we're going to try and mix up what we got. So really hope you enjoy the new format for this and how we've mixed it together to give a little bit of a mix. But drop us on the socials. Let us know how you think it's gone. Make sure you like, share and subscribe and everything. And keep growing that pod. Thank you and goodbye.